and Evan Pavlich. Come on up to the stage. Give it up for Evan!
What's up? Great to see everybody. So, some of you know by the crowd screaming. My name's Evan, believe it or not. And just something, gonna give another shout out to my boy Ian. Happy birthday, we embarrassed the junk out of you. Thank you, Stephen, for singing that. And just starting off, I've been an intern around here, finishing up, graduated recently. But today we're going to talk about, thank you very much. So, today we're going to be talking about something that might hit either close to home or just in a sense of something that's inside of us, something that is inside of your heart, maybe a desire. And that's going to be talking about strongholds. And with that, you're going to be wondering, what is a stronghold? Or where does it come from? Or maybe you know what a stronghold is and you're thinking of a fortress or a castle. But in that, the focus of today's stronghold is going to be in the sense of a money stronghold, which is something that we've kind of built up inside of ourselves, telling us that maybe we don't have enough, or the things that we actually own, such as our clothes or the game systems or even just the new pair of shoes you bought, that those own you, or that that's your identity. And we're going to take that mindset and we're going to transition it into a mindset where the things that you buy don't give you identity, they don't give you value. They look nice, yes, and it's cool to have these things, but the main thing that gives you your value or your identity is God. And each of us here are children of God. And if you take a second to think about it, when you actually get to understand that you are a child of a being that has the power to create anything and everything, that created the earth and everything you see before you, it gives you a whole new identity. We're going to talk about in 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 3 to 5, about some strongholds, or even just how it defines that in this world, meaning where we are today, where you're standing and sitting, where you are here, we don't wage war as the world does. And some of you may be confused, saying, well, what do you mean wage war? Why does that matter if we wage war? It states later that the weapons that we fight with are not the weapons of this world, meaning that when you think of war on TV or you play some games and you see in war games you've got guns, you've got swords, you've got carriages, you've got everything from back in the day to horse chariots and spears. You've got all these weapons, all these really cool things that people are using. Those aren't the weapons that we fight with as followers of Jesus, or even just as children of God, because the war that we fight with are actually stuff that you don't see. It's the thing that's inside of you. It's dealing with what some people call curses, generational curses, where within the past many years, people have had families where either the dad's not present, mom or dad just stepped out of prison or isn't at the home, or decided to get addicted to drugs, and now their parents home, but you know that they don't care. They're just there, and you just understand that they're just there. But it's not really like they're there, they care about you. Stuff like that. Stuff that tells you that what you're going through right now, you can't get over. And in the terms, or in like a sense of a financial stronghold of like, the things that I buy, because of how my friends react to that gives me value. And that gives me just a better place, that makes me happy. Because of the things that I own, it gives me at least some reason to be happy because people notice me. The new pair of shoes, the new shirt, the new game system, the new outfit, the new anything, whatever it is, you think that that gives you value. And you think that just because you have all these things, that it's going to make life better. But the war that we fight with isn't a war that you can see. It's the war inside of you. It's the war of when you wake up and you're anxious because you didn't wear the right outfit, or your friend just got a newer pair of shoes, or your friend just got the newer system, or just got the newer fill in anything. Or even in the sense of a different stronghold where you go to school and your friends talk about how their family is doing so great. They just got back from a Disney vacation and their mom and dad are in love.
And the reality of your family is that your mom or dad isn't even in the picture. That you may not know your mom or dad, or that they've been long gone, or just things are so jacked up in your family that it even hurts to talk about your real feelings or about who you are or how you feel at home, because you know that the truth hurts, that the truth actually isn't something you want to talk about, because the truth really isn't as good as that shiny new pair of shoes or the outfit. You feel like just because you have these things that it may make the fact that your dad's not present at home better, or it may make the fact that your mom doesn't care about the rest of the family better. But the reality is, it's not. And we have to fight in ways that aren't of this world, which meaning you can't fight the fact that your parent's not home and doesn't care about you with a sword. You can't fight the fact that the things you buy doesn't give you an identity that's valuable with a horse chariot. You can't find any weapon on this earth that can all of a sudden just solve your problem. The only thing that you can use in your current situation, or even in situations that you face in the future against these strongholds, or against these things that are super hard to talk about, or these things that you build up inside of you and you never talk about, that give you stress, anxiety, and depression, the only thing that can fix that is God. But specifically, the only way to fix that is in one weapon that a lot of people seem to overlook. Something that may lay on the ground in the battlefield and may just collect dust that nobody picks up unless something happens. And this spiritual weapon is prayer. It's prayer because when you're in your darkest of times, when you're trying to tell your friends your problems, or even when you're trying to hold everything in, you just need someone to talk to. God has that ability to be a loving parent, a loving father, a loving anything, the best friend, because he's always there. You just want someone to hear you. That's it. You just want to be understood. You want to be heard. You want to know that you have value. And the fact of the matter is that when you pray to God, you're talking to God. And that's simply it. God listens. God isn't just some imaginary thing you make up and you hope that wishes come true. God is there, always loving and caring and listening to you, no matter what your situation is. You go through some tough struggles. You feel like your parents have gone through anything and you got no one to talk to because it's not pretty. The reality is that sometimes our households don't look good. That's just how it is. But you can change how you think about these things by praying, by talking to God, by just taking what you want to say and saying it to God. Because sometimes when you're at school and you're asking your friends how the week was, they're going to tell you all the cool things they did. They're going to tell you about everything that went great, all their highlights. But when it's your turn to talk and you ain't got any highlights or everything's not going good, and you can't feel, or you don't feel like you can't tell them about how it's really going, that's when you know you got to talk to God. You got to pick up prayer and you got to start praying like you've never prayed before. Because the only way to be heard is when you start talking. And if you want your problems to be heard, then you know that God is there to hear your problems. Thank you. Give a round for Pastor Javi, blessing my life. This guy over here literally saw a struggle and just went for it. Love that, man. We got strongholds in ways that we may not see, or even generational curses. And we think that prayer is just something that you can kind of do and hope that it works. But out of everything that goes on today, if there is one thing that you can remember out of this entire sermon, out of this entire talk, it's you gotta pray up, or you're gonna stay up. You have to pray more, or you're gonna stay up more. It's not I can have one and the other, it's I can have one or the other. If I want to stay up, not sleeping because my parents are fighting, or because my siblings hate me, that's up to you. But if you want to remove that anxiety. You want to be heard for once. You can take your problems and you can pray to God and you can be heard. You can be heard on a level that is beyond intimate, that is beyond heard. You can just be heard. Simply that. Most of us just want a voice. Some of us feel that we don't have a voice at home, that your brothers and sisters have a voice and you don't, or you're the only child and you still don't have a voice because your parents seem to not care. But when you take your problem and you pray about it and you pray more, sometimes things just happen to work where you stay up less worrying, less anxiety. You start to see things from a different perspective. Or even with some financial strongholds that we have of, my friend just got this new outfit, and I don't think that my parents can give me the money to buy a new outfit. I'm kind of scared because my friends only know me by what I wear. They don't know about who I am, my favorite hobbies, what I like to do, what I don't like to do. They only know me because of the brands I wear and because of the things I bring that they get to use, whether it be by any type of games or any more clothes that you can trade with your friends. When your friendship is an exclusive label relationship where they know you because of the things that you own, that's when we have to take a step back. It doesn't even have to be things that are an outfit or a game or anything. It could be if your relationship with a friend is because of something that you own and not because of who you are or who they are, that's when you have to take that second. You have to step back and you have to think about, is my value in who I am, in my things that I own, or is it in God who created me, who has an infinite source of power and is bigger than all my problems? And I'm not gonna stand here and debate about how powerful or how huge God is, because that's for each and every person here to figure out for themselves. If you need to take some time throughout this next week and just think about the size of God in relation to the size of your problems, and you start finding out that what you own and the problems that you have are bigger than your God, bigger than the God, that's when you need to take a second, step back, and refocus what your identity is in, or refocus who you are. Because who you are, it's not what you own. Who you are is on the inside. No one can take that from you. You can't just give that to someone and have them mess with it like an outfit or some clothes. It's just who you are. And so for this next week, it's simple. You gotta pray up, or you're gonna stay up. That's it. Not even next week, but throughout the next few months, think about it. If you find your value in what you own, and your possessions or what you own start taking care of you and start owning you, or is your identity in God, and are you just gonna take that few moments in the morning or at night to just pray, to be heard? Because you just want a voice. And God will always give you the time that you want.